Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper, where today, maybe we're going to find a way to get ourselves some help and not, just slowly break down until we disintegrate in our shipping container. Let's start by talking to, let's start by going to the doctor. I want to see exactly what Sabine has hooked up for us. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes, in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark, and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with a case open in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how yet again they trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. So I'm the test case. That seems to be the case. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material, and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains, which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Wow, that's... one of the things that I personally find most compelling about Cyberpunk is the transhumanist elements. And this is a fascinating, this is fully a mechanized password security system being biologically encoded in a way that, I think a lot of cyberpunk stuff, especially a lot of modern cyberpunk stuff, and especially a lot of not particularly deep modern cyberpunk stuff, which is to say common video game representations and stuff, really don't get into the mechanics of the way that those ideas connect thematically. I really like this. I think our character's kind of probably fascinated by this idea of passcodes because, we're an engineer at heart, right? If we can get a better understanding of the system, maybe we can do something. Maybe we can route around it. I want to dig a little bit. Passcodes? In very basic terms, yes. They sigh. Look, what matters here is that the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away. At least, if this stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. So, are we just, we don't have a choice, do it? Or are we unable to suppress the expression of uncertainty? I feel like so far I'm kind of hewing this character pretty close to myself. How sure are you? I'm working with the best guesses here, but the case, the vials, it looks authentic. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness. Muffled noises, like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yatagan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods toward the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room, and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. I mean, they told me to go, but I know that they are definitely putting themselves at risk here, and they're probably getting into something that's like, you know, sourcing something like this. You're creating a relationship that's not necessarily to your benefit. I feel the need to like at least try to thank them, even though they probably will not appreciate it. Sabine? Nothing comes free, Sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Okay, wow, that put our condition all the way back up. That's actually really excellent. Let's stop by Emphasis Place. Hold on, actually, can I scout the price? Okay, 100 cryo, but it's at least a 60% repair. So it's not a thing we have to do all that often. And it does make me feel like maybe pushing self-repair is not critical. And putting one upgrade point into this, if I'm reading this correctly, we are not going to get the +2 off of doing that. So it really feels like gaining a +1 in something else would be more significant. Photosynthetic skin seems unnecessary. We're already good at recovering energy, and also, frankly, I don't want to have to spend more dice. Transfer intercept, though. As we're sort of like reaching out into the digital parts of the station, I feel like it makes sense that we want to get better at this, both mechanically and in character, and the cryo will help keep us buying new points of condition and stuff. So I feel like engineer and interface are maybe good places to push. Oh, do we not get the +1? Interesting. I was assuming since this says 1 upgrade point, like we would be able to, spending 1 upgrade point would get us everything that was within the bar. Okay, that's interesting. Even with that being the case, I think this is still probably, like, if I had understood that, I think this is still what I would have taken. So we're good. All right, I mean, we don't really need to have our drive tracked. We know what we're after. Let's make it get to know Emphas, I guess, for the moment. Does it include, it doesn't include like a meaningful progress tracker though. Yeah, all right. Let's dump this on some food. I do so love the spiced fungus. Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over again. This is the good stuff. All right, and at this point, we don't have any low dice, and all we have is just like raw Havenage data, not like useful stuff. So I think we're probably just using all these dice to work on the ambergris this turn. Oh, we should talk to Fang. Sleeper! Fang catches your attention as you approach the Havenage building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way. Security, all that, you know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Feng inside. The truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. Little ominous. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans on a server stack and gestures around. You like it? I think our character would think it's incredible. Like, this is exactly the kind of thing that we're into, right? Yeah, it's incredible. He smiles widely. I thought you'd say that. He taps a nearby server stack, which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from this sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station. I'm going to say AU1. There's a name for this character, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. The one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. The residents here look up at the Eye and think they're seeing a concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. And we're keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. Well, at least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines. They hum all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can, can't you? Yeah, I can see it. And it makes sense, right? Like, you are between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. Again, there's a lot of really good, like, melding of the biological and the mechanical here in, like, every element of this story. I am so into this. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Feng notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. We don't need to give him more information. Let's just say no, it isn't. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see, access protocols lost to time and decay, secrets. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place, break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havenage, there's old growth. Those whose roots trace back to those bad old days. You can help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? Yeah, I guess so. He's offering to buy this data from us, right? That's the thing that's happening here. I could use a purpose for it. Feng pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. I should clarify that I don't necessarily trust him. I think it's a little too perfect. It could just be good luck. But living in a place like this, in a time like this, has made me very distrustful of good luck. Feng passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget, so I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper. I'll see you soon. You step, blinking, back out into the passage, those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Okay, that's interesting. So hold on, can I sell just like the data that I have right now? So he wants Solheim data though. Okay. So we have no idea what to do with the Havenage data that we have here. Let's flip over. We're still trying to get the lay of things around the Overlook, right? I mean, we figured some stuff out. The Overlook is definitely a place where there is a lot of information flowing through. So I'm wondering if that's where we want to use our cipher. Because there was one other location where we could spend it, right? Didn't we see a second? Oh, maybe we didn't. Or maybe we did and it was down here. Oh, but that's a Havenage gate. Yeah, the Solheim gate is the only place to use this then. Well, I guess let's go see. He just happened to have exactly the cipher we need, and he's so friendly, and I don't know. With a squawk of noise, the old gate flips open, granting access. But we need Solheim data to do anything with it, apparently. Alright. So, a freighter showed up. There's an endure action to help them unload containers. The freighter will stay docked as many cycles as it takes to offload its haul into the Havenage yards. We can buy some scrap from them. The big stuff goes to the shipyard, the valuable stuff to the market. They'll let you buy a few crates, but not much more. Okay, so... I honestly don't know if we want to do any of this, and I am definitely a little bit concerned about making sure we have enough money to make the next vial. Although I guess when we work at the scrapyard, we do make quite a lot. Maybe it would be okay. Yeah, maybe. What was the price to get in here? 60? I do kind of want to see what's going on in the low end. All right, let's go help out at the ambergris. So I'm very good at engineering. We can't get a negative outcome from this. Okay, neutral's fine. Neutral is a funny word for positive. Okay, I mean, we're doing a really good job on the ship shape. What we are not doing is getting any random scrap. Okay, it happened. Finally. I shouldn't complain too much. I feel like we've been pretty lucky in terms of getting the good coin flips. We've been landing in the upper half of our results a lot. So, okay, it just scrap components. It doesn't look like anything in particular. Can we trade this in over here and get some trusted trader? $12 cryo and a point. Okay, that's not awesome. But obviously we care about this a great deal. And then we go to bed and we wake up with 5 dice. Seems pretty great. And we'll have 5 dice for like a couple of days here, too. And still they hunt. Okay, we got a 1. We were looking for a 1. There was a node somewhere. Okay, we did unlock these Solheim nodes in addition to the thing that just wanted the data. So we have... Okay, that's something that needs a 1. But there was something else, wasn't there? I thought I remembered there being a node that seemed particularly important. Maybe it was just this, it was just a key node of some kind. I mean, I am pretty curious about it. So we have a couple of 3s that we're going to need to spend somehow. I'm going to pop this Solheim node because it's more likely to have stuff we can sell right away. Oh, nice. 5 cryo. A little bit of loose currency sitting in the network. All right, got ourselves a piece of Solheim data. Let's go, or data rather. Let's go and part with it. I'm actually very curious to see what the payout of this action is. It says we'll pay you well. And when Feng has scoped the systems, hopefully he will be kind to us with whatever the outcome of that is. Okay, 15. That's not so bad. So we could scrape more data together with our 3s. We could just go, like, we need to fix up the ambergris, right? This is important. But I believe a 4 has a chance of a negative outcome. And on a risky... I don't know. I think I'm just going to throw the 5s in here. Okay, that's cool. We got lucky there. I guess there's a question, right? Like, we don't need this to fire right now. So maybe I don't spend the other 5 because we can guaranteed get a point of ship shape off of a 4. So maybe we come back here with a 4 and we use our 5 somewhere where it's going to get us something a little hotter. But where would that be? Oh, let's turn in this thing here. And then we have the money to get access to the low end, and honestly, we're doing pretty well on income. I think we can afford to do this. I want to see what's down here. Hand over the chits to the Yataghan enforcer, and he nods you through. Low end access unlocked. So, I wish there was a little bit more descriptive text, just like of the area in general, like as you're entering. Towering transit hub. The Founder's Gap. What is this? To reach the Greenway, you need to pay for a pass, a practice invented by the spacers moored here. They call it Founder's Ferry. All right, well, that's a lot of dollars. Seems important, though, to keep gaining access to new areas. So here we can enter the spoke. A tangled network of service passages and makeshift tunnels cut through the spoke as if it were a hive. There are no maps here. So we can just kind of like find our way around. Or we can scale it from the outside. Blistered with precarious elevators and stairways, the spoke can be navigated from the outside, but the climb requires bravery. Neither of these feel like things we're very good at. But layer after layer of dense urban fabric. I wonder what treasures it might hold. So danger. A 5 on danger is still, yeah, it's still safe. The danger level doesn't change the values of the numbers. But neutral outcomes on danger can include energy and cryo costs, right? So that's interesting. What about the residential districts down here? We can play Tavla. The clack of filter caps can be heard in every concourse in the low end as the residents play rotating rounds of this game for cryo. And we can also just do maintenance. Probably people will be appreciative. Helping out's a good way to make friends. Could use some friends. I'm kind of curious what this, like, exactly what we'll get out of this. I assume that they won't be paying, because if they would be paying, that would probably be mentioned in the text there. Apologies, tremendous professionalism. Just gotta deal with an important text here real quick. Okay, sorry. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Plus, it's an engineering action. Maybe we'll get some scrap. Oh, it gave us energy. You refit the long-broken fans of a family's air filters. They insist you join them for dinner, and their children are delighted by your presence. That totally rules. So it's a way to make friends and a way to recover energy without like, they're effectively paying us, right? Because we would have spent cryo on food anyway. And we can do all of that while potentially pulling scrap from the maintenance. That's awesome. That's very, very good for us. So what do we want to do with a couple of 3s? We go back to the scrapyard. Cutter salvage is what, 50% positive, 50% neutral. No, sorry, a 4 still has. That's a little scary. Well, we have a couple of hacks that wanted 3s. That's a 4. There we go. I am not misremembering. Let's do a little bit of interfacing and hacking here. Transfer intercept seems to fire an awful lot. I do wish we had access to the numbers. Ooh. Okay, that's a good outcome. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, sorry. This one's maximally extracted. You can only pull from each one once. Hunter's bar is filling slowly. So there's a Yataghan agent down here. That's probably what I was intending to spend that one on. But listen, I'm not making any notes, so I'm just going to forget things a lot from episode to episode. Now that we have... Oh, that's weird. Just sort of dark floating out there. Sadly, not a lot of new stuff in the low end. Yeah, with all of this stuff being interface-based, like getting the +1 on interface so that we have a range of dice that we can use for these, seems very, very good. So, I wonder, is there a point to dumping the unsealed, the encrypted key in here? Like, maybe we should just wait until we have both of them. But I am kind of curious, you know, it might be the case that unsealing the other dock requires something different. Let's go ahead and crack this one and have a look at the other lock. Okay, no, same deal. Worth knowing, I suppose. Well, I'm going to throw the 3 at this. We have a 75% chance of completing shipshape, and if we take one hit to grounded, it's not like a big deal. Okay, cool. Ankita is crouched in the computing core of the ambergris, swearing to herself when you enter. She doesn't look up. These shits completely ruined the core's connectors when they cut it. She holds up a thick fistful of ragged wires. The ship mine they ripped won't even be usable without replacing these. She throws the bundle of wires across the room. Amateurs. Well, can we repair it? There's nothing to repair. We need an entire ship mine. Not exactly the first thing you can expect to dredge up from a scrap freighter. She sighs. Like fragments, maybe, sections of a mine, but a complete ship mine? No way. Ankita climbs out of the cooling well where the ship mine should be. The space suddenly crowded with her on the same level as you, towering over you as she stoops beneath the low-curved ceiling. Come on, nothing to be done here now. She leads you back through the guts of Amber, though you could find the way back yourself. The repair process has left you familiar with the cutter's idiosyncratic layout, all diagonal angles and bundled tubes. I am going to ask, so what do we do now? Ankita seems lost in thought as you focus on the corridors, ducking below conduits and passing through bulkheads. Eventually, you arrive in the galley, though it's hard to tell. Most of the benches and prep surfaces are covered in half-stripped components and welded hull patches. Ankita shoves a box of filters to the floor and sits. There's no way around it, she starts out of nowhere. We need a new ship mind. I can maybe salvage one. I like your confidence, Sleeper. Maybe if we check out the check the ort exchange or speak to some scrap dealers. She rubs her forehead. It seems I'm about to do something very stupid. But hey, I came here, didn't I? Why not make a run of it? She fixes you with a hard stare. Sleeper, you're all I've got. No crew, no friends, you're it. She looks uncomfortable. I appreciate the time you've put in on Amber, and I'm sure she would too if she could. What I'm saying is, if you screw me on this, I will kill you. She leans over and hands you a stack of chits. A big stack of chits. You don't dare to count them. Get me that ship mind, Sleeper. Don't make me regret this. You won't. She sighs. Look, just get out of here before I change my mind. You slip out of the galley and head back toward the main lock. As you do, Amber growls and creaks like a caged animal. You reach out a hand to calm her. Time to find Ankita a ship mind. Somehow. Okay, so... I mean... At this point, with how slowly scrap comes in via engineering actions, we probably do need to actually just buy stuff off the scrap freighter. It's going to take us 6 more pieces. Yeah, alright. Well, you know what? It'll still be here tomorrow. We don't know. I don't know if this scrap allowance clock is going to reset per day. My guess is that it will not. My guess is that we get 3 total while it's here. So we could wait until tomorrow. Let's do our engineering actions for the day tomorrow, and then we'll decide how much scrap we actually want to buy. And with that, I guess we're good for the moment. Could use just a tiny bit of rest. Alright, one more day of big dice, and real rough rolls here today, but we do at least have some valuable stuff to do with ones. Let's see what's up with these yet again. Okay, well, I mean, it's data. Don't know what I was expecting. This key node also requires a 1. I'm just going to go ahead and spend these. I'd really like to find another encrypted key. Speak of the devil. Hunter. Hunter close. Let's take a quick look in that sealed dock. I mean, there could be anything in here. It is not unreasonable, I think, that there could be a bunch of scrap in here for us, right? The maglock thunks open, and you can remove it from the entryway. On to the next one. As you slip inside the sealed dock, a pulsing light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing and rusted plates, a machine flickers with a warm glow. Is it... What is it? It looks like, It looks like a, what do you call it? A bodega, sort of. At first I thought maybe it was, like a gotcha, like one of those little toy, blind capsule toy machines, but I don't know what the fuck that is. Yeah, let's maybe lurk for a second here. We do love to lurk. You don't know when this place was sealed, but from the state of the outer doors, high above, it must have been decades ago. In this dark, cavernous space, debris sits in every corner, along with the traces of rough sleepers, although none of it seems recent. Looking past this layer of decay, you see the now faded messages, symbols, and logos of the Eye's original corporate owners, still glinting in the shadows. Among all this, the warm glow of the machine seems to be the only sign of life. Well, then I guess we approach. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape, settled into an alcove in the side of the dock. A kind of upright cabinet, it's covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor, intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts necessary for the regular running of freight and resource extraction vessels. Okay, so it may do exactly what we need it to do here. The manufacturer is listed as Neovend, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which chirpily sang that name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Yep, all of the responsibility always rolls downhill. Enter your registration, chirps a pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. I feel like we should not just press keys at random. Well, no, I'm going to touch it. We're at sort of a weird crossroads here of like, we like to be hands-on, but also we like to lurk. I'm gonna touch it. You reach for the keypad and something begins whirring. At first it sounds like servo motors starting up, but it quickly becomes a whisper, a whining, and then a multi-tonal voice that emanates from Neovend. Entity, they hiss. Speak with me. Who's there? It's not Hunter, is it? There is a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath, before the machine speaks again. I have need of you. You have need of me. That squeal comes again, and you see that it is the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine resetting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirring, whining voice. That's really cool. I cannot do a voice that sounds anything like that. You are in danger. I do know that. Could you be more specific? The machine creaks. You are marked for deletion, entity. Hunter tracks you. The screech rattles through the empty dock. You remember the strange head, the figure, the threads closing in. Hunter. The Hunter Protocol. They taste your signature. The sudden whine sets your teeth on edge. You have seen them. This is the gift of an emulated mind. You close your eyes and the skeleton of the station begins to thrum. Emulated minds are adaptable, move where neurons cannot. The mechanism resets. But emulation makes you target. How? Hunter searches for illegal entities, Neovend screeches. You are sentient, therefore illegal. The servos judder the vending machine's casing as they reset. Hunter searches for me also. Hide in this machine. You look at the ruined vending machine. An unusual hiding place for sure. Can counter Hunter, but need entity outside machine. The light flickers. Need you. A screen attached to the vending machine with a swiveling arm comes to life. It displays a flickering map of the station, ghostly, threaded. The cloud. Points along the rim glow in deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data. Must build nests, explains Neovend. Masters are gone, but continues hunt. Bring this data. Raid its nests. So Masters, I'm sure Masters. We're talking about Solheim here, right? The original creators of these systems. Why can't you? Did you get yourself stuck? Hunter will find me. Then Killer will come. The machine trembles with effort. I cannot leave machine. Connections must remain closed. Bring offerings. Save self, Neovend says pointedly. Mutual need means friends, they conclude, tired of the conversation. The whirring amplifies, then suddenly drops, as mechanisms within the machine click back into place. The glow fades, and you are left stood in the dark of the sealed dock, that whirring voice ringing in your ears. Okay. I feel like, Survive is an okay drive. Let's track this one. I'm very curious about that. So finishing drives would be a good way for us to get... We gotta finish a drive to get the upgrade point necessary to actually buy the point of bonus intercept, or bonus interface, which seems important. Okay, so there'll be another ship here. So, like, is there one that we can... Getting access to the fabricator is something we might be able to do soon. We're already helping Fang chase his leads as fast as we can. We could be, working on the dock a little bit more, but we don't have a drive associated with... I don't know, we have Study the Winterlight. Okay, yeah. I think just, like, getting access to the Ort Fabricator is the thing we want to do from a bunch of different angles. So let's go do some basic engineering work for the day. Oh hey, we discovered a noodle manufacturer. Mingy has a kelp stack in the basement and makes noodles from the seaweed. Doesn't pay much, but he'll feed anyone who does a shift. Or we can deliver noodles, which is exactly the kind of direct social interaction I'm not interested in. But we could potentially get pretty paid. I think we're just going to do some maintenance work down here. For a lot of reasons, this is a good idea. Okay, that's a bummer. No scrap. Alright, well, we made 2 units of energy, though, which saves us a little bit of money. New drive discovered. Wait. What was the... Build a home. There's a derelict unit in the low end that remains unclaimed. With lots of scrap and a little work, it could be yours. I don't want to stay here. We want to leave. It would only take 4 units of scrap to put together a place that we could stay in the interim, though, which is maybe totally worthwhile. We've also discovered the Tambor Tea House. The Tavla Room in the Tambor houses, the Tavla Room in the Tambor houses some of the best players in the low end. Serious, high-stakes only play. We don't really know anything about that. You've heard that the Yatagan Enforcer based here has been paying low-end residents for information on Havenage movements. Yeah, I don't know that I want to participate in this conflict from this end. I don't necessarily trust Yatagan, and Havenage is, at least an agent of Havenage is maybe being very helpful to us, so let's not participate. Let's go ahead and buy this stuff. So these are just straight up ship mine fragments. Okay, and scrap components. Few more fragments. It doesn't actually say a number. I wonder if it would be easier for us to just rebuild one of our own? Feels like it would be a bad idea to throw the 2 into a dangerous... Right, I kind of want to do an engineer action, but probably not that one. Because right now we can move... Oh, I can only move normal scrap components, though. I can't even sell them, my ship mine fragments. Is there a build a ship mine? No. Okay, I was kind of hoping there would be an activity there that would tell me what the number we need for ship mine fragments is. So I guess we could just spend our 2, like, popping open a node or something here. Oh. Maybe we should use our 2 on precisely this. Alright, so we pulled some hunter data. Random data obsessively collected by the hunter protocol. Potentially a partial log of our recent movements. Maybe. Oh, right, I'm not going to be able to... What am I doing? I'm not going to be able to connect to the thing through the network. It has isolated itself from the network. That's the whole point. Here's something. 2 more. Alright. I'm a little concerned. We're really close to filling up the hunter bar, and this this someone is coming for us meter is filling pretty quickly as well. So I didn't end up selling the extra scrap component, because now if it looks like we're not actually going to get what we need via the Ort exchange, maybe we do the derelict unit thing and we just save up ship mined pieces and find enough of them through lucky engineering actions. We haven't had one come from that so far, but it just says random scrap item, and I believe that's the same text that was on the action that gave us the ship mine fragments in the first place. So maybe we just get lucky. Let's go keep working on making friends. Sorry, this is the wrong thing. Here we go. We are almost known as a low-ender. How bad is 2 in this situation? We probably still have enough things to spend a 2 on in the system view. So let's do this. We're guaranteed to complete our low-ender thing. We did not get any scrap, which is a real shame. But... interesting. We've been introduced to Castor. You cross between two walls of units, one of the cavernous streets at the center of the low end. The pressurized bridge is full of the clack of tavla, the shouts of children, the whir of air filters. Sleeper. You turn to see a man sitting at a tavla table alone, somehow untouched by the hustle and bustle of the people around. He gestures to the stool on the opposite side of the table. Sit. I want to stay standing for just a moment and then sit down. Make it clear, I sat down because I felt like sitting down. You sit at the metal stool and he starts setting out the board with counters, or at least the filter caps low-enders typically use in their place. Castor, he says by way of introduction, looking over his glasses. Night or day? He asks, gesturing at the caps, crudely splayed white and black. It looks like backgammon. Let's say night. He nods. The black counters are already on your side. I did note that it looks like more of the white pieces are on his side, so let's begin. You both take a plastic die each, pitted and worn, and roll to determine who starts. Castor rolls a 6. You roll a 4. I lead. He smiles and begins to move his first cap precisely along the board. Play passes back and forth between you, the dice changing hands as the caps spread along the board. As it does, Castor speaks, eyes not leaving the caps. It is unusual to see a sleeper on the eye. That's why I wanted to play you. You take your turn, rolling a 5 and a 6. I suspect we play carefully. After all, a sleeper's mind must be somehow different to a human one. Being emulated, I mean. As Castor talks, you build up a wall of caps, stacking them safely across the board. Progress is slow, but you remain unexposed. I don't mean to offend you. Castor meets your eye. I merely see that you are, by definition, different. What has been subtracted in the emulation? What has been added? He slides a single cap into an open point, a risk and an opportunity. He hands you the dice. Do you ever think about this, Sleeper? About what you were before and what you are now? Yeah, probably. The answer is neither never nor always, right? I think that we're mostly focused forward for the moment. We're in like a survival needs situation. So that probably keeps us mostly... I'm going to say never because I think we're mostly focused forward for the moment. There will be time for this, in theory, once we're safe. You roll a double 6 and slide your caps out of danger. Castor sucks his teeth. The running game. I understand. Why look back when you can look forward? He rolls the dice and strikes your exposed cap, sending it back to the beginning. But there are limits, Sleeper. We all come from somewhere. You more than any of us. The past you is not just an idea, a concept for you. It is a living, breathing person. He looks up over his glasses, his eyes bright and wide. You split from them like a shadow splitting from its caster. They may be sleeping now, yes, but one day they will awake and carry on with their lives unaware of your fate, no matter what yours is. He hands you the dice, smiling. You are a branch severed from the main trunk, an offshoot who refuses to die, so to speak. You roll again, under pressure now, trying to slip your caps out from under Castor's before he solidifies control of the game. So, what I am curious about is how you see yourself in all this, Castor asks. What does this tangle of truths make you? You know what, Castor? What it makes me is driven, for the moment. Castor laughs. That much is obvious, Sleeper. I see it in your eyes. You're eager to make this all count for something. Castor looks away, through the glass to the crowded units on all sides. But driven towards what? He starts removing caps, his home board now full. Is there an end here? Or just endurance? I mean, to be perfectly honest, for the moment, probably not driven toward anything. We're mostly driven away, right? You try a few more rolls, attempting to get back in the game, but Castor clears his home board with a sense of the inevitable. He has known he was winning for a while. I feel I may have pushed too far. He slides another cap from the board. I apologize. My curiosity has a habit of getting the better of me. You roll to return a cap to the board, but all the spaces are blocked. Castor clasps his hands apologetically. You play well, really. Your weakness is not your game. He smiles warmly. We have much to learn from each other. He slides his glasses back up his nose and sits back. I feel we could share knowledge, ideas, perhaps even data. His eyes glint with that last word. To our mutual benefit. He slides his final cap from the board. It is over. He has won. Yeah, I'll see. Please, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. He holds up his palms. My intention is only to help you endure here, and, if I am able, to feed my curiosities. The game over, you notice the bustle of the walkway once more, the call of the children, the deliveries, the arguments and reconciliations. They wash over you as you stand and leave, Castor nodding goodbye as you do. Crossing the walkway, you replay the moves of the game in your mind, looking for an opening you're sure was there. You know, like, I have to say, Castor puts me at ease a little bit, because I don't trust him, but I don't feel like he's trying to act like I should. He's openly, honestly, untrustworthy. And honestly, I appreciate. Alright, my dude. So, he would give me a vial of stabilizer for 5 yet again data, or a whole ship mind, if we can provide him enough havenage. That's a big prize, my dude. We're gonna set off the hunter. But there's no way to fight it without setting it off, right? We gained the hunter bar did move up when we accessed the last nest. So, like, let's just try to get through being hunted once and see if we can't complete the Neovend task. Fingers crossed this doesn't get too ugly. Yep, that filled the bar. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of Hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. It's built to catch people when they run, right? I'm gonna hide. I don't know if this makes sense. I feel like it's gotta be better at chasing than it is at finding, right? You slip down into the ghostly structures of the eye, a feeling like passing through a cloud as their data structures deform and reform around you. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now, that roving orb wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Entity, submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you in that unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. And, of course, I struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils, and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing, comes the scream from behind, but you are already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. So we managed to avoid getting processed again. That's something. So this nest requires a 1. And there's no other nests around here. Alright, well. I'll go hand over the bit we got. And then... So we can no longer do engineering actions over here. We've done all of the maintenance that needed doing for the moment. We can explore this. I guess let's go back and work for Dragos. We'll get some money and maybe be able to do the Founders Gap thing. I need to do some engineering actions to have any chance of getting closer to the one method of affording a ship mind that we are closest to. And also I actually do just like need a lot of money. Break it down, move it on. 16 cryo and piece of scrap component. So what do we want to do with the 2 here? I mean, it is safe to do the forensic trawl. Again, I feel like focusing mostly northward here. I don't think... Yeah, I don't think I care about this Winterlight move. I don't think this is our play. So it's going to take 3 more... No, 4 more. Shoot. But I think I'm just going to turn these in right now for the money, honestly. We could hold on to them, though, like... Maybe we'll get the thing in some other way. And then we'll use these to construct a temporary home. For the moment, we wouldn't get enough money to get access to the thing we want access to anyway. So, like, where am I going to spend this to, then, is the question. There's nothing left for us to do at the Ambergris. There's nothing to do here for the day, but there may be tomorrow. We go to the Overlook and buy drinks, I suppose. That feels like a pretty sociable thing to do relative to how our character does stuff. You know, there is an engineering action here. We could assist a shipbuilder. It's probably not going to be harmful. And even if it is harmful, we're just talking about loss of energy or cryo, right? Or now that we've reset the Hunter bar, I suppose we could just pop a random key node. I kind of think that's... Just keep looking for information. Okay, found ourselves another encrypted key. We do not have any obvious use for that right now. All right, let's, I guess, just go to sleep. We're getting close to some big moves here. Some big, potentially very scary things occurring. But for the moment, the pattern holds. We're definitely going to go need to buy some fungus. And I am a little bummed out about only having 4 dice. But this all seems like problems to handle later. Tomorrow, perhaps. I think that's all that I have time for today. Which I am kind of bummed out about because I really do just want to keep playing this. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope y'all are enjoying this, like, even a fraction as much as I am. When you come back next time, tomorrow, I guess we're getting hunted. And we'll see you then.